Hi, welcome to the Wise Archive. Here, we make language learning simple and interesting. With us, you'll forget you're even studying and enjoy every moment. New York is a big city. Many people go there every year. Some want to work. Some want to study. Others want to see the tall buildings and bright lights. It is a city that never sleeps. I have always wanted to visit New York. I think about the streets, the noise, and the lights. I want to see the famous places. I want to feel the energy of the city. I want to taste the food from many countries. First, I prepare for the trip. I take a small suitcase. I put clothes, shoes, and a camera inside. I must also take my passport and ticket. I look again to be sure that nothing is missing. I feel happy but also a little worried. At the airport, I see many people. Some are running. Some are sitting and waiting. I hear voices in many languages. The smell of coffee comes from small cafes. I spend time looking at shops. I think about the flight. Soon I will go to New York. The plane is big. The seats are close. I put my bag above me. I look through the small window. The sky is light, then dark. I hear the sound of the engines. I must sit for many hours. I feel tired but also excited. I want the plane to land soon. Later, the plane arrives. I see lights outside. They are bright in the dark night. I come out and feel the air. It is colder than at home. I smell food and hear cars on the road. I take my suitcase and go to the city. The taxi goes fast. I look again and again through the window. I see bridges, tall buildings, and shops with lights. The sound of horns and voices comes into the car. I think that New York is noisy but alive. I want to see more. At the hotel, I check in. The room is clean and small. I put my things on the table. I open the window and look outside. The street is busy even at night. People walk fast. Cars stop and go. I think that I must sleep, but I also want to go out. The next morning, I walk to Times Square. First, I see many screens with lights. They show pictures and words. The street is full of people. I hear music and talking. I smell food from hot dog carts. I take photos with my camera. I feel happy and excited. Next, I go to Central Park. The trees are big and green. The air is fresh. I see people walking dogs and riding bikes. Children play on the grass. I sit on a bench and eat a sandwich. I think that New York is not only noise. It can also be quiet. Later, I visit the Statue of Liberty. I take a boat. The water is dark and cold. The wind touches my face. I look at the big statue. It is green and tall. Many people take photos. I think about freedom. I know that this statue is a symbol for many. In the evening, I walk on Fifth Avenue. The shops are expensive. The lights are bright. I see shoes, clothes, and watches. People come and go. The sound of voices and music is everywhere. I do not buy anything. I only look and take pictures. Finally, I return to my hotel. I am tired. My feet hurt. But I am happy. I think that the first day in New York was wonderful. I want to see more tomorrow. The next day begins early. I wake up with the sound of cars outside. The sun is light through the curtains. I feel hungry, so I go down to the street. The smell of coffee and bread comes from a small bakery. I buy a bagel and a hot drink. The taste is warm and soft. I think that breakfast in New York can be simple but good. After eating, I take the subway. The station is noisy and full of people. Some run, some stand still. The train comes with a loud sound. I go inside and find a seat. The air smells of metal and dust. I look at the signs on the wall. I think that the subway is not clean, but it is fast. I go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The building is big and beautiful. The steps outside are wide. I see people taking photos. Inside, the air is quiet. I look at paintings and statues from many countries. Some are old and dark, others are bright and full of color. I think again that New York has everything. It has art, music, business, and life. Later, I walk to the Brooklyn Bridge. The bridge is long and high. I see the river below, cold and moving fast. The wind touches my hair and face. Many people walk and take pictures. The city looks different from here. I see tall buildings far away. I think that this view is one of the best in New York. In the afternoon, I eat pizza. I find a small place on the corner. The smell is strong, with cheese and tomato. I take a slice and taste it. The bread is hot, the cheese is soft. I like it very much. I think that pizza in New York is famous for a reason. Next, I go to Wall Street. The streets are narrow and full of tall buildings. People wear suits and walk fast. I hear the sound of phones and voices. I see the Big Bull statue. Many tourists touch it for luck. I take a photo and move on. I think that money and business live here. Later, I go to Ground Zero. The place is quiet. 2 big holes are in the ground. Water moves slowly inside. Names are written around the sides. People stand and look. Some cry. I feel cold and heavy. I think that history is not always happy. It can also be sad. As the evening comes, I take another walk. This time I go to Chinatown. The lights are red and gold. Shops sell food, clothes, and small gifts. The smell of noodles and tea is strong. I buy dumplings. The taste is hot and full of flavor. I think that New York food is from all over the world. When the night is dark, I go to the top of the Empire State Building. The elevator goes fast. My ears feel strange. At the top, I step outside. The wind is strong. I look down. The city is full of light. Cars look small. Streets look like lines. I think that this view is magic. New York is big, and I am small, but I feel alive. Finally, I go back to my hotel. I put my camera on the table. I look again at the photos. I see bridges, food, lights, and faces. My body is tired, but my mind is full. I think that the second day in New York was busy, but wonderful. The third day starts with rain. I hear drops on the window. The street looks wet and dark. People walk fast with umbrellas. I take my jacket and go outside. The air is cold, and the smell of wet ground is strong. I think that New York feels different when it rains. First, I go to Grand Central Station. The building is big and full of light inside. The roof is high, and stars are painted on it. I see many people coming and going. The sound of trains, voices, and shoes is loud. I stand for some time and just look. I think that this place is not only a station but also a piece of history. Then I walk to the New York Public Library. The front has 2 big stone lions. The steps are wide and clean. Inside, the smell of books fills the air. The room is quiet, only the sound of turning pages. I look at the long tables and old lamps. I think that reading here must be special. Later, I go to Broadway. Even in the rain, the lights are bright. Posters show many shows and plays. I buy a ticket for the evening. I feel excited. I think that Broadway is famous for a reason. Music and theater are part of the city's heart. For lunch, I find a deli. The smell of meat, bread, and coffee is strong. I take a sandwich and soup. The taste is salty and warm. People around me talk and laugh. I think again that food in New York is big and full of flavor. In the afternoon, the rain stops. I walk to Rockefeller Center. The square is busy with people. Shops are open. Music plays from speakers. I see the ice rink, but it is small. Some people skate, some fall. The sound of laughter fills the air. I take photos and smile. I think that this place is full of fun. Next, I visit the Museum of Modern Art. The rooms are white and clean. I see bright paintings, strange statues, and films on screens. Some art is easy to understand, some is difficult. I think again that New York is a mix of everything. It gives new ideas to people who come. Evening comes, and I return to Broadway. The theater is dark inside. The seats are soft. The lights go down. Music starts, voices sing. I feel the sound in my body. The story is strong. People clap and cheer. I think that this moment is special. I will always remember it. After the show, I walk back. The street is noisy and full of life. People eat, drink, and talk. The smell of food comes from every corner. Lights shine on wet streets. I think again that New York never sleeps. Even late at night, the city is awake. Back at the hotel, I put my wet jacket to dry. I sit on the bed and look at my photos. I see trains, books, food, art, and lights. My body is tired, but my mind is full of images. I think that rain did not stop me. It made the day rich in new ways. On the fourth day, the sun shines again. The sky is blue and clear. I feel light and ready for more. I eat a quick breakfast in the hotel. The taste of coffee and toast is simple but good. I take my bag and go outside. First, I go to Ellis Island. I take a boat across the water. The air is fresh and the wind is cool. I see the city behind me, tall and bright. The island is quiet. The building is big and full of history. Inside, I see photos of immigrants. I read names and stories. I think that many dreams started here. Later, I go to the High Line. It is a park on an old train track. I walk above the streets. Flowers and trees grow here. I see art on the walls. The sound of cars comes from below, but the air feels calm. I sit for a moment and look at the river. I think that New York always finds new ways to live. At midday, I eat in Little Italy. The street is full of red and green flags. The smell of pasta and garlic is strong. I take a plate of spaghetti. The taste is rich and warm. People talk loudly, and music plays from a small radio. I think that food in New York is a trip around the world. In the afternoon, I visit Coney Island. The subway ride is long, but I do not mind. When I arrive, I see the beach and the ocean. The air smells of salt and fried food. The boardwalk is noisy with games and rides. I eat cotton candy. It is sweet and soft. I think that this place is fun and old at the same time. Later, I walk on the sand. The water is cold when it touches my feet. Children run and laugh. People play music. The sun goes down slowly. The sky is red and orange. I think again that New York has many faces. It can be busy, quiet, modern, or old. In the evening, I return to the city. I go to Madison Square Garden. The arena is big and full of sound. People shout and cheer. I see a basketball game. The ball moves fast. Shoes hit the floor. The smell of popcorn and soda fills the air. I clap with the crowd. I think that sport in New York is strong and full of energy. After the game, I walk outside. The streets shine with light. I see yellow taxis and people with jerseys. The night is noisy, but I like it. I think that New York gives many experiences in one day. Back in my hotel, I sit by the window. I look again at the city. I see lights in every direction. I feel small, but I also feel part of something big. My camera is full of photos. My mind is full of stories. I think that New York is teaching me something. It shows me how life can be many things at once. The last day of my trip arrives. I wake up early. The room is quiet, but outside the city already moves. I eat breakfast quickly. The taste of eggs and juice is fresh. I feel both happy and a little sad. I know I must leave soon, but I want to see more before I go. First, I walk to the United Nations building. The flags of many countries move in the wind. The building is tall and glass. I see people going inside with papers and bags. The air feels serious. I think that this place is about peace and talk. I take a photo and move on. Next, I visit Greenwich Village. The streets are smaller here. Trees give shade, and old houses stand close. I hear music from a cafe. The smell of coffee mixes with bread. I sit at a small table and drink. The taste is strong. I think that this part of the city is creative and warm. Later, I go to Harlem. The streets are full of sound. I hear jazz music from a shop. People talk loudly on the corner. The smell of fried chicken and sweet cakes fills the air. I eat lunch here. The taste is rich and full. I think that culture and history live strong in this part of New York. In the afternoon, I return to Central Park. This time I rent a bike. I ride fast under trees. The wind touches my face. The sound of birds mixes with city noise. I stop at the lake. The water shines with light. I sit on the grass and rest. I think again that New York is not only buildings. It is also green and peaceful. Later, I go shopping for small gifts. I walk through busy streets. I see t-shirts, magnets, and books. The shops are noisy and full of color. I buy a few things to take home. I think that souvenirs will help me remember this trip. As the evening comes, I go to the One World Observatory. The elevator goes up very fast. My ears feel strange again. At the top, I look through glass walls. The whole city is below me. The sun goes down slowly. The sky turns orange, then dark blue. The lights of New York turn on one by one. I think that this is the perfect way to finish. Finally, I return to my hotel. I pack my suitcase. I put clothes, gifts, and my camera inside. I look again out of the window. The city is still alive. Cars move, people walk, lights shine. I feel tired but full of joy. The next morning, I go to the airport. The taxi moves fast on the road. I look back at the skyline. The tall buildings stand against the sky. I think about everything I saw: Times Square, Central Park, bridges, museums, food, music, lights. New York has given me memories for life. On the plane, I close my eyes. I hear the sound of the engines. I taste the last coffee from the airport. I think again and again about the trip. I know I will return one day. New York is too big for only one visit.